Let's see if these are live. Okay, that's live there. And this seems to be live here. Time for me to go live. And here I am. Morning, everybody. Time for another journaling session. And let's get started. Making this room smell a little bit nicer at first. All right. Hello, Expat Alexandra and Frappuccino 68. Good to see you both. Expat Alexandra, I'm pretty sure you left an answer for the empathy question I asked. And I think I responded to you as well about shoes, right? Not too sure. Hello, Marie with double E, and Mom to Jack and Oliver. Hello to both of you. Hello to everybody who's here today. Today is March 22nd, 2025. Not 2052, 2025. And time to see what thoughts are alive in me. Didn't have a great sleep last night and I had a lot of ideas rattling around in my mind, so let me try to get them all out. Hello again, Amy69 Babes. Always good to see you here. Expat Alexandra, thank you for asking. How am I feeling today? Today, still feeling a little bit congested. I've been awake since 4 a.m. and I couldn't really go back to sleep. I was in kind of like a twilight daze. Thank you, Amy69 Babes, for your very kind words. And yeah, feeling fairly slow energy. I'm gonna only do a gentle run this morning, then I'm gonna go to the gym, and I'm feeling a little bit unsure about what direction to go with my writing and with the project that I want to do. And so I think today I'm going to spend some time just making a pros and cons list and weighing all the options and trying to see which direction I can move forward in. So that's pretty much where I'm at the moment. But definitely feeling a slower, softer energy right now, not a golden retriever puppy energy I usually have. Well, what happened here to my camera? Hey-yo. Let's see, that's down. Oh, there you go, we're back. Okay, good. How many dogs do I have? I have 2. So I have Fudgy, who's my golden retriever. He's 5 years old. He's going to be turning 6 this year. My God, is he turning 6 this year? No, that can't be it. My God, yeah. So he's turning 6 this year. Sweet guy. And so he's a golden retriever, lots of fun energy. And I also have a corgi, a little corgi named Papa Jelly. If you could see here in the picture, that's Papa Jelly right there. And there's Fudgy blurred in the background. Papa Jelly is a very small and tight corgi. He's not a chunky corgi, the way corgis tend to get. But he's around 2 years old now, and he's a very affectionate dog. Yeah, I know, right? He's 5 already. That's shocking. I already see a little bit of gray in his mouth, and I feel a little bit sad. And I was even thinking this morning of like, when do I get another dog? Because I know I can't even imagine thinking about, oof, being without Fudgy. But I know he still has so much more life to him. But there's always that fear of how long is he going to be around for. Well, I gotta journal about that and process that. My body's definitely not feeling great about that. Okay, thanks for the writing prompt. Funny how when we're not well rested, our bodies are definitely gonna take our minds into wrong directions. Like, this is a very innocuous question about how many dogs do you have? And I started thinking about my dog dying because he's old. And that's not because he's actually old, he's 5. I'm thinking this way because I just slept like shit. And it's such a clear indication to me that your mind is a direct byproduct of how your body's feeling. Oh yeah. All right, now focus on what I'm trying to write here. Well, what do I write about? Back to it. Hello to Chabobs. Welcome for joining. Welcome for joining. Thank God. Welcome to the live stream, and thank you for joining. How do you move with them? I mean, if airplanes do, you put them in cargo for bigger pets. So I flew with Fudgy from Toronto to Lisbon, and I haven't flown since. Every trip we've gone on, it's been a road trip, and so we just put them in the trunk. Well, like a big enough trunk, of course, not like a tiny sedan trunk, but big enough that they could move around and get them their beds when we're driving, and that's how we roll. Hello, Oat Milk Life. It's a great name. Appreciate how much you appreciate oat milk. How's life in Portugal? I'd say right now it's not been a great time. I got back in February, and for like February up until now, it's just been really cold and rainy, and just not what I know Portugal for. I remember last year in February, I was able to go to the beach, and this year, no. It's like today's 11, it's spitting sharp rain, and it's sunny and then rainy and then sunny and then rainy, so it's a little confusing, but I don't know. Also, my life in Portugal is similar to like life how it would be like anywhere else. I'm mostly just working from home and doing my own thing, so it's just a matter of what I could see outside and what park is close to me, what gym is close to me. And so I'm not really engaging with Portuguese life all too much, as I did when I first came here and I was exploring. Now that I'm kind of getting my rhythm of like life and work, then it's less cultural and more routine, I would say. I appreciate all your questions, Alexandra. Am I a coffee or a tea drinker? This is coffee right here. I I don't make my own coffee. I I grind my beans and then I pour them through a V60, and then this is a bulletproof coffee, so this has butter and MCT oil in it. I haven't put butter in my coffee in a while, and I just remembered that this morning, so I'm seeing if that has any impact. But I don't really like teas at all. I never got into green tea, never got into other teas. I just find them kind of like diluted flavors of the things that I actually enjoy. Like if I like apples, I'd rather eat an apple than drink like diet apple water. You know what I mean? Hello to Speedster and hello to Clara Dundovic. Pleasure to see you both. Thank you for joining. Do you think I would visit Korea again? Hello to Natushi12. Would I visit Korea again? Korea doesn't really call to me that much. I had a really challenging time in Korea and definitely wasn't my best self. And I mean, I'd be open to visit, but it doesn't call me to visit that much. You know, like Japan really calls to me. I miss it very dearly. And I'd love to be able to just go there, go to all the places that I used to hang out at and just deeply cry and just do that for a couple of years. No, I definitely miss Japan. So there's a part of me that wants to see that. I imagine that Korea is so changed. I know that it evolves so rapidly. It's such a quickly growing country that I imagine that even if I were to go back there, I wouldn't be able to recognize the places that I used to know. And I was speaking with somebody somebody sent me a message who had a pretty traumatic experience in Korea, and she's going back there now to try to build new memories of it. And you know, it's kind of inspired me into thinking about it as well. And she said she went back to Korea and none of the stores that she went to were there. Everything is moved and gone, and it was really hard for her to reconnect with it. And so I kind of feel the same way. I feel like Japan stays very similar. Like even though Japan is evolving, I think that Korea just has such a high turnover rate, at least from how I remember it. Or maybe things are different now. I don't know. So that's my thought. Hello to Joe 2011 Ba. Thanks for coming. All right, I gotta get some writing in. That does sound healthy. Thank you, Amy, for saying that. And yes, Japan is a mini world in this world. It's definitely its own thing. Definitely its very different own thing. And it's beautiful. Do I ever use journal prompts from other sources or just free writing? No, I'm not using journal prompts from other sources. I have my own set of writing patterns that I'm very comfortable with. And so I know that if I have some ideas, let me just get them out. If I ever feel stuck, then I always know to check back in with my body and see how that's feeling. and just to make sure, kind of like today, like when I was talking about like how I was worried about the health of my dogs, and I realized, oh, maybe it's because my body's not feeling too good. Let me check in with my body again. So it's always just a matter of what thought is alive in me, and after I write that down, then I get into, all right, what's my body feeling at the moment? So I just alternate back and forth between those two. I wrote a list of journaling prompts that I have available to download in the link in bio if anybody is stuck with journaling and they don't know where to begin. But a lot of it is embodiment. I am very big on the idea of the mind-body connection. They're not separate from each other. They're the same thing. And so how do I really solidify that? And how do I get a better felt sense of the two of them being connected rather than distinct things the way that we always used to believe them? So there you go. Hello to Mary Carmen Vella. Thanks for joining. What the fuck is up? Where did my video feed go? What's happening here? All right, just keeps on popping in and out sometimes. That's fine. Have a great weekend, Simon. I'm going to go back to sleep. It's almost 5 a.m. and I have 2 more hours. Expat Alexander, that's really late. My gosh, it seems like you've been up since 4 like I've been. Or maybe you have been just up all night. We wish you a good night. Thank you so much for engaging so much in this live stream and asking me very many questions. I really appreciate your engagement here. Thank you. And have a great sleep. Hello to Nels Nails. Thank you for joining. Hello, Bara. Ah, nice to see you. Good morning. Yeah, hello. Bara, how do I get my ideas to flow so easily when I write? Well, I think the question would be, let me look at the camera here. I'd say the question is, why are ideas not flowing easily? I mean, I have so many ideas and they're always in me. I have a restless mind, you could say. I'm also a little bit slow in my answers today because I woke up at 4 and I had difficulty falling back asleep, so I'm sorry if this is a little bit jumbled. But I've also just put in so many repetitions. This is a practice I started back when I was in my early 20s, so I've been very comfortable with writing for a very long time. And at first, when I started writing regularly, it was very challenging. It was, my hand would get sore, and then I'd just be stuck saying, okay, now what? Okay, now what? Okay, now what? Okay, now what? Not Okinawa. I realize it sounds like Okinawa. And I'd just be like, and what now? And what now? And just keep on asking myself and just repeat the question until something emerges. But now I have so many different ideas and so many different strands, and I take in so many concepts that it's hard for me to get them all down, in fact. It's not that the ideas have difficulty flowing. The ideas are bottlenecked by the speed of my hand in many ways. And so I think it's just a matter of I take in a lot of different ideas, and whenever I take in a new idea, I always try to compare it to the other ideas that I have and to join it in there. And then as soon as that's floating around, that's always in kind of like pieces and not like fully written down. And so here's where I could finally put it all together and make sense of it. I've been thinking a lot about a poem by, I think his name is David White. It's called The Bell and the Blackbird. And he winds up saying how, there's I'm not going to recite the poem, but it's a poem about a monk who hears a sound of a blackbird, and he's like, that is the most beautiful sound in the world. And then he hears the sound of the bell, and he's like, that is the most beautiful sound in the world. And then the poem goes somewhere else, and it doesn't end like that. But the point is that he's enticed by the bird to go out into society and to connect and mingle and to make music with them. But he's also enticed by the sound of the church bell that kind of reminds him of like being studious and just by himself and like being able to learn and absorb ideas. And I definitely feel a bell and a blackbird thing happening with me, in which I really just want to be able to sit and write and just write and write and write. I just love this feeling so much. It's so enjoyable to scribble words on paper. But I also know that I got bills to pay. I got a job. I got clients. I gotta work for them as well. And so and also while I'm writing, I'm engaging with other people, and I share what I'm writing online. Do I really want to share what I'm writing, or do I just want to get back to writing by myself? I'm writing for myself or for others, and so there's this constant pull of like an inwards and outwardsness, and so that's one of the ideas that I'm writing about right now, and trying to figure that out. So thanks for asking. That doesn't necessarily answer your question, because it's kind of just like, how do I get the ideas to flow? They're always flowing. I just can't get them to stop. The question is, how do I get them to stop? And that's through meditation. And I haven't done that in quite a while now. I definitely need to meditate a bit more. Anyhow, back to writing. Hello, Masha. Thank you for joining. It's always good to see you. I know you suggested that I find a way to make this angle a little bit warmer, because this angle right here definitely has like a warmer color. But this overhead shot, it is kind of cold light. And I tried fiddling around this morning to make it look a little bit warmer, but I didn't figure it out. And so I'll figure that out another time. But thank you for the suggestion, which I've honored and I've tried to figure out, and I will incorporate. So there you go. Happy life! Nice to see you on YouTube. Hello, it's been a while since I saw your comments. Hello, pleasure to see you there. I'm looking at comments on Instagram here, and I'm looking at comments YouTube over there. Jess, hello Jess. Wow, good morning to you as well. Hi, nice to see you here on YouTube. I broke my glasses and I can't see without them, so I just listen. Oh, happy life. I'm really sorry to hear that. Let me bring this microphone here so you could hear the scribbling a little bit more. Hello everyone from Houston. It's 4 a.m. Aye, that is pretty rough. I woke up at 4 a.m. and I've felt so slow as a result. You can definitely hear that my voice is a lot lower because it's so not well rested. I think the better rested I am, then my voice gets really high like this and I'm all ready to go. But not today. Not today. Maddie's son, it's so great to see you here, Maddie's son. I've loved the conversation that we've had, and I love the language that you used of, what was it again? Building human resources and ethics for fun, or something along those lines. I'm sure that I've butchered your line there, but I found that very inspiring, and nice to see you here. Thanks for joining. Thanks so much for taking into consideration my perspective, Simon. Of course. I appreciate everyone offering their perspective here and letting me know what they think and how they feel so that I could see what I could learn from that. I love the language that you've used, and it's been inspiring, and trying to see how I can incorporate that and, develop human resources for funsies on my own. So I appreciate your contribution here. Thank you for co-creating this with me. As I say, a life well lived certainly is a reward of its own. Yeah, sure is. 100%. How do we live our best lives, and what does that look like? And the answer is very different for everybody. Hello, Mia572. Nice to see you here. Jess, what scent do you use whilst trying to concentrate and relax? Ooh, very nice. So this right here, I think, is Palo Alto. I'm not sure. To be honest, this is my girlfriend's smelly stuff, and I just went to her room and I took it from her. She's definitely the expert in this, but it was only this week that I really decided to bring this here. She also has one of those singing bowls that you can gong, and I'm definitely trying to set a better ambiance here. Before it was I think my last week's live streams were just like, here's my desk and here's my book and I'm just gonna write, but I'm really trying to set the vibe a lot more. And so this smells nice. I love the little smoke that comes out, and this candle here is from Zara Home. It's the chimney candle. But then again, can't really smell out well because I'm still feeling congested. So there's to that. But I think there is in Lisbon, today's the day, but it's raining, so I'm not going to be able to go. They have the Thieves Market where I used to live, and one of the stalls there had a lot of good smelly things and for burning. And so I should probably go there and pick some things up. But thank you for the prompt there. Yes, maybe she could give some recommendation. It does give a good vibe. I'll ask her, and then I'll be able to answer on Mondays live stream when I do this. So thank you. Thank you for that prompt, Jess. Maddie's son, let me see what you say here. The bigger perspective that we are respecting when stunning our habitual desires with that of empathetic reasoning. We are respecting the boundaries of factualizing the fundamentals of human nature. My God, okay. Let me try to understand this, because I've been awake for 5 hours now, and my mind's kind of slow. Let me read that one more time. The bigger perspective that we are respecting when turning our habitual desires with that of empathetic reasoning. We are respecting the boundaries of factualizing the fundamentals of human nature. Maddie, I'm kind of slow. I'd love to be able to understand that a little bit more. So if you could offer some more words, I'd appreciate that. So the words that are standing out to me here are factualizing the fundamentals of human nature. Bigger perspective that we are respecting when stunning our habitual desires, that are reasoning. Maddie, I'm going to need some help here. I'd like to buy a vowel. I really appreciate that you've written so much, but like I said, feeling kind of dumb right now. I'd love to hear that in another way. If you choose to share some more, please do. Well, it is a place that is in history more so shunned to show care. Yes, well, definitely, yeah. So I'd say in history, how that sentence resonates with me is that we are not really trained well to be empathetic. I know that it's a language that appears in a lot of religious discourse, but it's not really practiced all too much. And because I know religious discourse is really motivated by shame rather than motivated by, like actual trying to be kind to others. Hello to Eddie Lane. But I definitely think that we are getting more and more interested in empathy. I think there's a growing trend in it, and definitely in business literature. There's a lot of language about like, hey, how you need to be empathetic in the workplace, both for people that you work with and the people that you're serving. You say here, boundaries are so important, telling others it's okay to heal. Yeah, sure, 100%. It is okay to heal. What does healing mean to you? I think healing has so many different perspectives, so many different angles. For me, healing sounds to me like another way of saying being whole. And how do you become whole? How do you incorporate the parts of you that have been disenfranchised in some way? So that's what I think healing kind of means to me. My God, it's 9:11. I'm only supposed to be doing these until 9 o'clock because it's supposed to be breakfast time at 9. And so I think my girlfriend might be waiting. Maddie, I really want to be able to engage more with what you're saying right here, but then again, I feel very limited in my resources. And so my boundaries are very tight right now. I'd definitely be more open to hearing more of it later on. If you send me a message, I'd be happy to carry on the conversation there. And thank you to everyone for hanging out today and watching as I do a little bit of writing. I just love doing this writing, and I'd love to be able to spend all day sitting and writing and being able to chat. So thanks for the book club. Of course, Maddie. Thank you for your participation here. And I'll see you all Monday. Tomorrow, I don't think I'm going to be doing a live stream session because tomorrow's when I run my half marathons. And so after that, I pretty much just like chill and relax. But I am enjoying this so much that I might do one tomorrow, so we'll see. But until then,